So there's a lot of debate on carbohydrates in your body. There has been a new network marketing company out for, I don't even know how long, a year, maybe two at this point, and they have different cycles of carbs, like how you work them into your diet and then like eliminating them completely. It's extremely expensive to follow this program. I'm not quite sure what the pull is. Weight loss, I guess, fast weight loss. But I want to talk to you a little bit about identifying a healthy carb versus a not healthy carb. So we know that anything God put on the ground, like in the earth to eat, is probably something that is safe for you to eat. I'm pretty sure He's not going to put crappy food out there for us. So anything that comes from the ground would be considered a healthy carbohydrate. So think of bananas, think of potatoes, think of whole grains and quinoa, sprouted grains, beans. There are so many different varieties of healthy, fiber-filled carbohydrates. So in order to tell if your carb is a healthy carb, if it's not something that comes from the ground, let's say you bought a loaf of bread, or let's see what else, maybe some whole grain crackers, or, I don't even know what else. I just don't usually buy any of that. So for your bread, for example, we buy bread. We like bread in our house, and I like to have my piece of toast before my workout at least 2 to 3 mornings a week. The other mornings I try to eat a sweet potato, because it's seriously, a sweet potato is literally the best fiber-filled carbohydrate that you can put into your body ever. And I eat half-cup servings at a time of sweet potatoes or beans. Or in the mornings, if I'm doing a heavy lifting program, sometimes I'll eat 2 pieces of whole grain toast, or I'll do a piece of whole grain toast and maybe a 1/4 cup of sweet potatoes. So it just kind of depends on the workout that I'm doing and what I feel like my body needs that day. So let's talk about how to tell if a carbohydrate is healthy. If you're buying a processed food, which is something that comes in the middle of the aisle or in a bag or something like that. So if you look on your nutrition label and you take the number of total carbohydrates. So hubby just brought home a loaf of bread, and I was checking it out this morning. And for instance, for one slice of bread, it has 22 grams of carbohydrates, okay? So for every 10 grams of carbohydrates, you want at least 1 gram of fiber. That's what makes it a fiber-filled carbohydrate. And especially as ladies, most of us don't get the amount of fiber that we need to. So you really want to make sure that you are getting the adequate amount of protein and the adequate amount of fiber per day. I believe it's 25 milligrams, but that could vary depending person to person. So you're going to take I have my 22 grams of carbohydrates. The grams of fiber are 5. Okay, so there's 5 grams of fiber per 22 grams of carbohydrates. So that fulfills that category, okay? And then you want to look at sugar. If there is more sugar than grams of carbohydrates, or fiber, if there are more grams of sugar than there are fiber, it's not a fiber-filled, it's not a healthy, balanced carbohydrate, okay? And then you want to make sure it has some protein in it. Protein is always an added benefit when you are eating a piece of bread. So we had 22 grams of carbohydrates, which checks the box with 5 grams of fiber, okay? So we have 3 grams of sugar, which is less than that 5 grams of fiber, and then we have 5 grams of protein. So in our meal plan, we balance it out with macros. We don't talk to you really about macros. It's just automatically configured into your program, into your meal plan, no matter which program that you follow. We have 2 different meal plans that we utilize through our community, but then within those are various ranges. So like if you're into intermittent fasting, or if you're getting ready for a wedding or a special event, we have what's called a carb cycling program. So it takes you from different levels of carbs 2 days a week to 1 day a week. It's very specific, laid out and customized to your current weight and then your activity level. So just make sure that you know what kind of carbs you're eating. Not all carbs are created the same. But like I said, if the good Lord planted something in the ground, potatoes, beans, legumes, corn is one that's sketchy. Like, you don't digest it very well. It wasn't ever actually meant to be consumed, even though it's delicious, which is why you poop it whole. Your body physically can't break down corn. So I would keep those at very small quantities. If it's fresh and in season and you want to eat an ear of corn, fantastic. But as far as like keeping it as a staple in your pantry, it's not really one that I would recommend. If it's the only kind of fiber you can get into your kid, that may be one thing, but I would really try to find a different source of fiber. And remember that corn is not a vegetable. It is starchy. And starch turns to sugar, which turns to fat, which is why we want to eat healthy carbs, but we want to eat them in the right balance at the right times of the day. So I eat carbs for breakfast, I eat carbs for lunch, and I eat carbs for my afternoon snack. And then usually for dinner, I stick to lean, healthy proteins and vegetables. Now, if I'm out with my friends or hubby and I are having a date night, I may have a cocktail, I may have a slice of bread, I may have a dessert, but I'm not going to have all three of those things necessarily. Sometimes I might, but I'm just going to make sure that I drink adequate amounts of water every day. You should be drinking at least half your body weight in ounces of water every single day. And then if you're lifting weights, times that probably by 2. So usually what I'll do, I weigh 176 pounds. So half my weight in ounces of water, round up to 90, it's 89 ounces. But I always try to drink a minimum of 120 ounces of water every day, but I really shoot for that 150 mark, because when you exercise, your body, you're sweating out a lot of water, and your body's made up of 90% water, so you need to replenish that. Also, if you're lifting weights, your muscles tear, which is a good thing. That's how you get those lean, toned, sculpted arms. However, you want to make sure that within, I would say, 30 to 60 minutes of your workout, you're eating a healthy fiber-filled carb, and you're eating a lean source of protein. And I always like to add a veggie into that, just because you can never eat too many vegetables throughout the day. And then when you drink that water, so when you tear your muscles when you're lifting, you build up lactic acid around your muscles. That's what helps them heal. So if you ever notice, you lift some heavy weights and then the next day you're feeling a little puffy, a little bloaty, that's lactic acid, and you need to drink good quality water, half your weight in ounces every day to flush all of that out, because that can build up toxins in your body. So our bodies are made in a pretty fantastic way. God absolutely knew what he was doing. So just trust that he knows, trust that what he put in the ground was meant for you to eat. Just eat in the right quantities throughout the day. And if you need some help, know I'm always here. Take care. God bless.